Welcome to a brand new video series on the channel where at the end of each month I'm going to cover several awesome PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games that are coming out in the next month. And in today's video I'm covering several amazing PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 video games that are coming out in the month of December 2020. So strap in folks and let's get into today's list. Releasing on the PS4 sometime in December, and I don't have a price for it, is Sword of the Necromancer, and it's also coming to the Switch, Xbox One, and PC. If you know the release date and the price, let me know that in the comments down below. Sword of the Necromancer is a retro-style roguelike dungeon-crawling action RPG inspired by games like Enter the Gungeon and Zelda games like A Link to the Past. When you defeat enemies, you can revive them to fight along with you using the Sword of the Necromancer, and your enemies will become your allies. So as you progress in a run, you will amass an army of monsters, acquire and equip various weapons and relics, and level up. When you level up, you can upgrade your stats and improve your monsters. You can also play co-op locally with a friend, which is awesome. Sword of the Necromancer gives off the vibe of a Super Nintendo game with modern mechanics added, and I cannot wait to play it when it releases sometime in December. Releasing December 1st on the PS4 digitally and physically for $29.99 is Kronos Before the Ashes, and it's also coming to the Switch, Xbox One, and PC. Kronos Before the Ashes is a prequel to Remnant from the Ashes, and it is an atmospheric action RPG where you set out to save the land from evil. Kronos Before the Ashes is a huge adventure with RPG mechanics and a deep combat system utilizing a large variety of weapons, powers, and abilities. It features a unique aging mechanic where when you die, your character will age by 1 year, requiring you to adapt your new age as you progress, changing the way you play throughout the game. The combat is primarily melee with timed dodges, parries, and counterattacks, and there are also puzzles throughout the game and difficult boss fights. Kronos Before the Ashes looks absolutely badass, and this is a game I certainly have my eyes on as it looks like a combination of Zelda and Dark Souls, and I cannot wait to try it out when it releases on December 1st. Releasing December 1st both digitally and physically for $39.99 for the PS4 is Empire of Sin. It's also coming out on the Switch, Xbox One, and PC. Empire of Sin is a turn-based strategy RPG set in 1920 Chicago where you take on the role of various mob bosses and build criminal empires. You will choose one of 14 crime bosses and build, manage, and defend your empire. Utilize the shady economy of Chicago from that era to build and manage businesses, casinos, and more. Engage in gang shootouts and turn-based strategy combat using a variety of weapons from that era. Empire of Sin looks to be a pretty interesting strategy RPG with some sim elements, and I love the theme, and you can check it out when it releases on December 1st. Also on December 1st, releasing digitally only for $28.99 on the PS4 is Twin Mirror, and it's also coming out on the Xbox One and PC. Twin Mirror is a third-person adventure game where you take on the role of Sam Higg when he returns to his hometown to say goodbye to his best friend, but then gets caught up in the town's dark secrets. The town is very detailed and rooted in small-town America as you explore the town of Basswood and its locations and interact with the locals. Sam is an investigative journalist, and you have access to his unique skills he has developed in his mind, and every decision and interaction you have will determine the outcome of the game. Twin Mirror looks like a very intriguing game with an interesting story, and as someone who grew up in small-town America, I am intrigued by the small-town aspect, so I may check this game out when it releases on December 1st. Releasing December 3rd on the PS4 and the PS5 for $59.99 both digitally and physically is Immortals Fenyx Rising, and it's also coming out on the Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series as well as PC. Immortals Fenyx Rising is Ubisoft's Breath of the Wild clone, but with some unique mechanics added. You take on the role of a winged demigod named Phoenix as you set out to save the Greek gods and the world. You'll be able to utilize the gods' powers, such as the Achilles sword, to engage in combat against mythological beasts like Medusa, and also to solve puzzles and explore the massive, completely open world split into 7 different regions. You can engage in combat both in the air and on the ground with a large arsenal of skills and weapons. I've been looking forward to Immortals Fenyx Rising all year, and I have it pre-ordered. This is a day one purchase for me, and I'm excited to spend countless hours in the huge open world when it releases on December 3rd. Also on December 3rd for the PS4, I was not able to find a price, is a game called Fogs, also releasing on the Switch, Xbox One, and PC. If you know the price, let me know that in the comments down below. Fogs is a 3D puzzle adventure game where you play as a two-headed dog linked together with a stretchy belly. There are 3 different worlds to explore as you stretch, bark, bite, and bounce your way through a ton of puzzles. You can also play Fogs solo or with a friend in local co-op. Fogs looks pretty fun and looks to me like a physics puzzle-based 3D platformer, and it's very colorful and goofy looking, but in a good way. So grab a friend and get ready for a fun, unique adventure when Fogs releases on December 3rd. Also on December 3rd, releasing on the PS5, I was not able to find a price, is a game called Haven. Also releasing on the PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and the Switch and PS4 in 2021. If you know the price, let me know that in the comments down below. Haven is a unique action-adventure RPG where you play as two lovers named U and K as they explore an unknown planet to fix their ship and make it a home. You will be cooking meals, crafting, collecting resources, taking part in conversations with each other, and engaging in combat as you glide around the land. The unique thing here is that when you play solo, you will be controlling both characters at the same time, but you can also play local co-op as well. Haven looks like an incredibly unique game, and I really like the graphical style as it really pops off the screen, and the idea of controlling two characters at the same time is intriguing. Haven looks like a fun RPG with some unique twists, and you and a friend can check it out when it releases on December 3rd. On December 4th, releasing digitally and physically for $39.99 on the PS4 is Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition, also coming to the Xbox One, Game Pass, and PC. Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition is the ultimate version of this classic and beloved JRPG. It features the main game with extra character scenarios, a new orchestrated version of the music, a 2D mode to play in, and the ability to switch to Japanese voice acting. You can even speed up battles double or even quadruple speed. This is a massive and epic RPG adventure full of awesome characters, a fantastic story, and huge lands to explore, and you can play the definitive version when it releases on December 4th. On December 8th, releasing digitally and physically for $39.99 on the PS4 and PS5 is Puyo Tetris 2 Launch Edition, also coming to the Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Puyo Tetris is back again with a sequel to the popular puzzle game combo. Just like in the original, you can play Puyo, Tetris, or a hybrid version of both, and you can play online and offline in a variety of modes, as well as partake in a single-player adventure. There are brand new character-based battle skills to utilize and item cards to power up your team. The online mode has been improved to include game leagues and free play for up to 4 players. There are also some challenge modes, such as endless mode, for even more variety. So grab some friends and get ready for some falling block puzzle action when Puyo Tetris 2 releases on December 8th. Also on December 8th, releasing digitally only for $37.49 on the PS5 is Temtem. It's currently out on the PC, and it's coming to the Switch and Xbox Series in 2021. Temtem is a massive multiplayer adventure where you collect creatures. It's basically Pokemon. As a matter of fact, some might argue that it's better than Pokemon. In Temtem, you are a kid who is a Temtem trainer, and you set out on an adventure across 6 islands, catching and training Temtem, battling other trainers, defeating Clan Belsodo, and trying to beat all 8 dojo leaders so that you can become the Temtem Ultimate Trainer. So yeah, I basically just described Pokemon. Besides the story campaign, you will be in an online world and will encounter other players, enabling you to battle or even trade with them. You can customize your character with cosmetics you will acquire throughout your adventure as well. I'm not gonna lie, Temtem potentially looks to be what Pokemon Sword and Shield should have been, and I'm very intrigued to find out for myself when Temtem releases on December 8th. And lastly, on December 10th for the PS4, releasing digitally and physically for $59.99 is Cyberpunk 2077, also coming to the Xbox One and PC. Cyberpunk 2077 is the next massive open world game from CD Projekt Red, the developers of The Witcher 3, and this time it is an open world action adventure game in first person set in the megalopolis of Night City. You take on the role of a mercenary outlaw named V as you pursue an implant that could grant immortality. Your character has cybernetic enhancements, a large variety of upgradable weapons, hacking skills, implants, and more to make you the ultimate cyberpunk. You'll be fighting security, police, gangs, and other mercenaries, as well as gaining money to spend on weapons, cyberware, cars, motorcycles, and clothes. Night City is absolutely massive as you will be exploring gang areas, the downtown area, corporate buildings, and much more, and interacting with and fighting several NPCs. The choices you make will change the story as you play, just like in the Witcher games. Cyberpunk 2077 is my most anticipated game of 2020, and it's a day one purchase for me. Hell, I even took time off work to be able to binge play it all weekends, so I can't wait to get my hands on it when it releases on December 10th. So there you have it, everybody. Several awesome PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games coming out in the month of December 2020. The games that I'm most excited for are Kronos Before the Ashes, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Twin Mirror, Haven, Temtem, and of course, Cyberpunk 2077. But I want to know in the comments down below, what games in December 2020 are you most excited for? Also, let me know if there's any games coming out for the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 in December that I should have covered in today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure and hit that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing so that you can join the RetroWolf family. And as always, folks, stay safe out there, keep playing games and having a good time, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Later.